I like the saying, or I really like the idea that we overestimate what we can do in a year and we underestimate what we can do in 5 years. That's something that I've always lived by. I've always lived by this quote, and I love this quote. It's, good people wake up in the morning every single day and try to empty the ocean with a ladle. And my interpretation of that quote is that you should get up every single morning and do your absolute best to go flat out, work as hard as you can, but don't expect anything good to come of it for a long, long time. Welcome back to my channel. I'll tell you what, it's really good to see you. It is really good to see all of you. I am really enjoying this constant back and forth that we're having on YouTube. I'll tell you what, I'm actually beginning to really enjoy being consistent. I'm passionate about it at the moment. I hope you guys can tell through my videos. I hope you guys can tell the effort that's going into each and every one of these videos. So just before we get started, if you could, and you're already subscribed and you've been watching a few of my videos, if you could leave a like on this video, that would be amazing. If you're not subscribed yet, head over to that subscribe button, just the one down below, and give it a hit. If you're not convinced though, stick around to the end of the video, I might be able to convince you. If I'm a new face, if this is the first time you're visiting my channel, my name is Tom Noski. I'm a videographer, photographer, and digital artist from Melbourne, Australia, who takes images like these. It's Q&A Fridays. If you want your question to be answered on next week's episode of Q&A Fridays, head over to my Instagram. It's @TomNoski. I usually chuck a little question box a day or two before these videos, but we're going to jump straight into it today. The first question comes from Holly Photography, and I think I answered this one recently, but it is, how do you make money from being a freelance photographer and videographer? I don't do any freelance photography work. I do purely freelance videography work. I do sort of do a little bit of photography for friends and family if requested, but I don't have as much experience as a commercial photographer, so I don't like to do it as much. But freelance videography, so I work within the fitness industry, I do a lot of weddings, I work with sports teams, that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's how I make my money. Also from Holly, stop being a hog. If you didn't ask such a good question, I wouldn't have answered this. What is the craziest shoot you have ever done or ever been on? I assume this is personal and work related. I have to say just Hawaii in general, or Kauai specifically in general, was just insane. The hikes are brutal, the landscape is breathtaking. Like there was points, and I'm terrified of heights, there was points where you're walking along a ridge line where it's literally straight drop-offs on either side of you, and that feeling of accomplishment that you get getting to the photo destination and taking all kinds of, some of my favorite photos I've ever taken. In fact, one of them is my favorite photo I've ever taken. It just feels completely different. And then hanging out the side of a helicopter with the doors off over the Nepali coast was just, oh man. That Hawaii in general was the craziest shoot I've ever been on. I have to go back. I really have to go back. From Flynn.rm, how old were you when you got your first camera? When I purchased my first camera with my own money, I was 20 years old. I know, I just turned 20. I'm 22 now, so I'm almost 23, so it's been almost 3 years. So in the scheme of things, I'm assuming the age of a lot of you watching these videos and following me on Instagram, that's actually quite old. When I get messaged by someone who's 16, 15, 14, 18, asking me how to get work, or asking me how to get better, or asking me anything, my first piece of advice to them is just be patient. You're so young, so don't worry about it. I assume the reason why you're asking that question is probably because you're younger than me. So don't worry so much about the age. And if you are older and you're starting late, who cares? Keep into it, keep at it. We've all got plenty of time, or at least we've got more time than we think. I like the saying, or I really like the idea that we overestimate what we can do in a year and we underestimate what we can do in 5 years. That's something that I've always lived by. I've always lived by this quote, and I love this quote. It's, good people wake up in the morning every single day and try to empty the ocean with a ladle. And my interpretation of that quote is that you should get up every single morning and do your absolute best to go flat out, work as hard as you can, but don't expect anything good to come of it for a long, long time. It's put the effort in every single day, make small little changes every single day, and over time, over a long period of time, those changes will begin to add up. So that's my my advice if you're asking that question from a perspective of how quickly I've progressed. And don't compare yourself to others. Who cares what others are doing? How can I keep a consistent color through my Instagram feed? Just followed. Big fan. Thank you. Thank you very much, bro. And that's from MV Older. Don't focus on that. If you're sort of beginning on Instagram, I would actually recommend not worrying about your theme and more concerning yourself with getting better as a photographer. Way too many people focus their attention on their feed and how their feed looks, not concentrating on each individual image. So really pay attention to getting better as a photographer, as a creator, rather than a consistent theme on Instagram. Your favorite shot from EMXPI. My favorite shot is from Hawaii. It's this shot just here. I don't know why I love it. I don't know why it stands out to me. It's a beautiful shot of my girlfriend Georgie. It's got everything that I love in a shot. It's got scale. It's got perspective. It's beautiful. Like, I really love this shot. I love this shot, but I don't really have any particular reason for loving it so much. From Harzo, or HARRZO_ Harzo. Do you have sponsors, and if so, how do you get them? Love you, man. I don't have any sponsors. I'm an ambassador for a few brands. I'm an ambassador for Artlist. I'm an ambassador for Polar Pro. But no, I don't have any sponsors. I think if I were to be sponsored, it would need to be a brand that I believe in, something I already use, something like Canon, or something that I already trust to sell to my viewers. I would never pick a sponsor that is just there because they're giving me money. I want to always concentrate on being authentic for you guys. So that's something I concern myself more with than gaining sponsors. So that's probably why I haven't sort of reached out to that sort of thing yet.
Hey Tom, it's Ben here from sunny Hawaii. Just about on my way back to Sydney, but I want to know, when are you traveling next to Sydney, or are we hitting Queensland or what? What's going on?
I want to hit Queensland. First of all, very jealous of the fact that you're in Kauai right now. Very, 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 very jealous. I want to hit Queensland, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. And Sydney, I want to come back up to Sydney, but I think it'll probably be maybe a month or two before I get back to Sydney. I've just got a few months of lots of client work, lots of editing, lots of fun stuff. So yeah, maybe soon. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. If you enjoyed this episode of Q&A Fridays, if you enjoyed any of the videos that I've been putting out lately, because I've got a lot more of them coming, I would really, really appreciate if you could hit the subscribe button and hit the like button and leave a comment down below about what you enjoyed, because I would really appreciate it. But as always, it is entirely up to you, and I'll see you guys in the next one.